In this video, I built a beacon out of every building material but made it 6 times larger, making the ultimate Six-Tuple beacon, possessing every power possible option on one base of material. Make sure you watch all the way through because we'll eventually build a Six-Tuple diamond beacon as part of the project. Let's go, baby. Okay, so the first thing I think we should do is build a wither skeleton farm because I'm going to do a quick test here. And from that test, we got one wither skeleton skull for 5 minutes of work. And lots of bones, lots of coal, and only one wither skeleton skull. And we're going to need 18 just for one Six-Tuple beacon. So I think the best thing to do here would be to build a wither skeleton farm. So I'll grab a load of building materials and we'll be on our way. So let's go. All right, and that is everything for one part, and then the second part, and then the third part. So now we'll pack up, and then we'll get building. All right, and before we do build that, we've got to build one house in this village. So I'll do that. And just before we build the house, I don't think I'm dressed to do any building. So I'm going to change that up. Okay, now let's build this. All right, this is looking pretty good now. So then we'll just add the details and we're done. All right, and then we'll do our 3 armor statues. Okay, and then we'll give this guy a pose and then a name. All right, and statue number 2. All right, so we'll give the basics. So a pose and then a name and then number 3 right here. All right, and here's the pose. And now we'll just do the name. And we're done. And then last but certainly not least, we've got to launch all the fireworks to celebrate our Discord members. Okay, now that is all done, we can actually start by getting all the beacons that we need now. All right, and now what I need to do is fly around the Nether until I find a particular Nether fortress. And that fortress I'm looking for is entrenched deep into a soul sand valley biome. So I'm going to go exploring and hopefully we can find one. Okay, I found a fortress that could be good, but it's right next to a basalt deltas and a nether wastes as well. So this is good. We'll note the coordinates just in case I can't find anything, but I reckon we keep looking just because it's close to a basalt deltas. Okay, I think I found the fortress here. If we go a little bit up, I think this is entrenched well into a soul sand valley, and as well there are plenty of wither skeletons that spawn here. Look, I'm being chased by a few and I've already got one skull. All right, and without further ado, let's grab all of my building blocks for the spawning platform. Let's build this thing. Hey, if you want to go in, I'd be very happy. Okay, that was easy. All right, and that is the first part of the farm built. All right, and now we are directly above the farm. So now we've got to build up 125 blocks. Okay, and now we are here above the portal at the right spot. So this is going to be our AFK platform where we farm all our skeletons. All right, I found the spot. So let's build up here and let's build the rest of this farm. All right, and that is the overworld end done. So now when I go back through the escape portal here, by all means, the farm should work now. And by all means, our sword should actually one-hit the entire chamber. So let's test it. That is stupid. All right, so I'm probably just going to AFK for an hour here until I can get all the chests loaded up with all the wither skulls. So I'll see you in a while. So let's go. Whilst I was harvesting wither skeletons, YouTube slid into my DMs and told me that only 4% of my viewers are actually subscribed. So if you like this content and want to see more, please subscribe because it tells YouTube you like this content and you want to see more. And there's some very fun stuff lined up for the future. All right, 95 levels later, and Yeah, we got a ton of wither skeleton skulls, and let alone even the 41 that we store in here to filter it out. All right, so we'll take a stack and a half of wither skeleton skulls, and then we'll go and kill as many withers as we can until we have all the beacons that we need. All right, now we'll just spawn the wither like so. Very quick and easy with all my illegal enchantments. All right, and then we just do this several more times. All right, 45 nether stars. It's a pretty good haul. All right, so we'll grab all this sand and then we will craft all our beacons. And one thing we should also think about as well is that these are not just simple beacons that we're just going to put on grass. Like, I think we need to put these on a monument. Thinking maybe here will do. So I'll get to deforesting an area real quick and then we'll get building. So let's go. I've dug out some land here, and personally, I think now's a good time to actually see how I'm going to fit these beacons in. So I'm going to build all the platforms and see how they fit out. So let's do it. All right, so I've done my first platform and it's looking pretty good. It will fit the Six-Tuple beacon on it perfectly. So I guess let's just build our first beacon, because whilst I've been building everything, yeah, and even here as well, I have all the iron blocks that I'm going to need. In fact, more than enough, if anything. All right, and now I've got all the iron blocks, all the ingots, and all the beacons that I'm going to need. So just grab all our iron blocks, and then we'll start building the first beacon of many to come. So let's do it. All right, and that's all the iron placed. Now for the 6 beacons. All right, and that is 1 beacon of 5 done. So that was the easiest one out of the way. And now the rest of the beacons are actually going to get progressively harder. So what I think I should do now is I should actually finish this platform up. We'll do some terraforming around here just to sort everything out. But other than that, a very good start. Feel satisfied already. And boom. Okay. All right, so I think the beacon I could actually start on is the gold beacon, because if I just look around, I've got tons of blocks of gold just lying around. So, and do I have anything else in here? Yes, I do. I've got an additional 15. Okay, so actually, this is actually a really good start. We've got 2 stacks in 27, which means I'll need another stack in 27 to complete the gold beacon. And I think the best way to actually get all this really fast is we'll go to the Nether and we'll just start mining as much gold ore as we can. So let's do it. We'll take all this smelted gold and let's see how far it gets us. Okay, we only need 39 more blocks of gold. And I think it would just be easier to raid bastions for the rest of the time and get the rest. So I'll go stack up on some food and then we'll get to it. All right, I don't think I've been here because that guy would definitely not be alive. So, oh no, I have been here. Okay, my bad. Okay, I think I found a bridge bastion here, which is known to have that golden piglin head statue. I think what I could do is I could just like try to shoot through with an elytra and quickly take the head and leave. I'll just clear out a bit of the danger first. And then here we go. Bag secured. And this is a lot of gold blocks. This is a great find. All right, so now we're only 16 gold blocks from completing a Six-Tuple gold beacon in Minecraft. And there's another one here, but I don't think it's going to be that good. So, I mean, it looks okay, but... Oh, it's a bridge. Oh, holy smokes. Yes, give me all this. Give me all this. Give me all this. And does this complete it? Hopefully it does. Oh, it's going to complete it. 52 on the dot. We have all the gold blocks we're going to need to build this beacon. So now let's go home and let's build this beacon. We've got all the blocks of gold that we're going to need. We've got our 6 beacons and our 6 gold ingots. So let's get all this into our inventory and let's start placing it down. And it is done. And now our 6 beacons. And there we go. That is beacon number 2 done. All right, so we've got plenty of birch logs, so we'll get them all into our chest. Alright, and not long later, we got all the emeralds that we are going to need for the emerald beacon. Alright, and then I'll craft them all into emerald blocks. And then over here, we will start placing our beacon. Alright, and that is all 244 blocks placed. Now for the 6 beacons. And there we go. That is 3 of the 5 beacons done. Alright, and now we're up to the 2 really hard ones. And the first one is going to be the diamond beacon. Alright, so I think to do this, what I might do is run the mining machine that I initially built to get all the deep slate that I would need for my storage unit. Because let's be real, you probably built one of these machines and your main expectation is to find diamonds. Okay, so starting now, I'm going to start a 1 hour timer. And we're going to see how much diamonds we can get within that hour. So let's start the clock and let's go. All right. And that is the timer. Just got to remember, we actually started with 18 deep slate diamond ores. And we got 2 stacks pretty much of diamond ore. All right. So now that we know that is a very good method for mining diamonds, let's just keep running this machine, man. Like, let's get this done. All right. I think I've encountered a massive issue here. The tunnel bore is going to run over this giant lava lake here. So I'm thinking what I should do is rip down the tunnel bore mechanism and then rebuild it facing another direction. So we'll go to the machine and then we'll tear it down and rebuild it. So let's go. Right, and that is the mechanism torn down. Alright, and the tunnel bore has now been rebuilt, rearmed, and it's ready to go. Alright, and moment of truth. Let's fire it up and see if it works. Oh yes, let's go. Now let's see if we can get all the diamonds we're going to need to build this beacon. Alright, I've bored for thousands and thousands of blocks, and I am so annoyed of all the lava. So I'm going to go home, and I'm actually going to create a new shulker box for my ender chest. And that is going to be a potions box. Alright, and that is all done. Now we're here, let's drink the potion. We'll start clearing all the lava out. Oh yes, that is way better. Let's go. All right, and that felt so much easier to clean it all out. And then we'll go here and start clearing out. All right, and that has easily been cleaned out, and we still have 5 minutes of 5 res still. Alright, I've kind of gone overboard with the diamonds. I was hoping to get a full shulker box of it, but because I've been running it for so long, I do wonder how much this will be with Fortune 3. So I'm going to head back to the surface and let's see what it can net us. Alright, I'll then grab my Fortune 3 pickaxe. I've placed all the diamond ore, and now it's time to mine everything with our Fortune 3 pickaxe. So let's mine it all and see what we can get. And alright, it is done. Okay, we're 12 blocks short. For now, let's just craft the 3 stacks of diamond blocks that would be useful, and then the additional ones there. But this actually does remind me, in the early game, I actually collected a full stack of diamond blocks in here. So we just go into here and take some of these. And there we go. We've got the 244 diamond blocks we're going to need to build a 6-tuple diamond beacon. And even for a flex, we'll also include 6 diamonds to power it. And then let's grab a few beacons. All right, and then after 6 hours of work, we have all the diamond blocks that we're going to need to build this beacon. So let's start building it. Honestly, this feels so wasteful, just wasting all these diamonds just for a Six-Tuple beacon. But hey, anything for this project, yo. And it is done. So now we'll do the 6 beacons. And now that ticks off a pretty much huge waste beacon right here. And now we're up to the final boss. But I'm going to call in some expertise just to explain something here, because something isn't right. Okay, so you want to build a netherite beacon in Minecraft. To do this, you need 5,904 ancient debris. Now, to really understand how much this is, trying to get this all legitimately in survival Minecraft is literally going to take roughly 300 hours of your time to mine all the ancient debris, including AFK time for all the gunpowder if you use TNT to uncover ancient debris. Sometimes you get lucky when mining, and other times you don't. Why would you even attempt this? Class dismissed. After hearing what the professor said, my monument was going to take an all-out effort that almost feels endless to complete. But if I learned anything from growing up, the most resilient people get what they deserve. I believe, and I am going to complete what only so few people have done.